Good morning and welcome and congratulations. To the class of 2023, this is your moment, and I am certain that you are all ready to meet this moment. I don't think I need to introduce myself. I have instructions here that I should do that. But I think the people who need to know who I am. It's been an honor and a sincere privilege to be your dean in this year and during this time of great challenge that you have all risen to the occasion to meet. For those of you who might not know who this person standing at this podium is, I'm Michelle Williams. I'm the Dean of Faculty at the Harvard Chan School of Public Health, and I'm a proud alumna of this incredible institution. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of all of these students, your children, your spouse, your daughters, your sons, your nephews, your niece. How proud I am that they have chosen this field of public health, because they have chosen public health guided by one ethos, and that is health is a human right. I am so proud of you. Thank you all. Your courage, your commitment, and your capacity to create a healthier and more resilient society has never mattered more. I ask you to sit, please. I'm so excited. I'm going to talk for 30 minutes and you're going to stand. You all embody courage, commitment, and capacity, and the world needs it more now than ever. You are entering a world at its crossroads. A global pandemic has erased decades of progress on poverty, decades of progress that were made in healthcare, in education, and gender equity around the world. This climate crisis is urgent, and democracy and human rights are faltering. Yet in the midst of crises lies ahead great opportunity. People may be willing to rethink the world as we live in and the future that we want to build. Nations may be willing to adopt strong measures to promote healthier populations and greater social and economic resilience. They may be willing to change, to reject the status quo in favor of something better. And that is why you matter so deeply. You matter because you are the next generation of public health leaders. You are poised to take this moment and turn it into a movement that embraces health as a human right and respect the dignity and the worth of every human being. In an enduring sense, this is your time. This is your world. For better or for worse, this is your world. And you have what it takes to change and quite possibly transform this world. I'm going to share more about why I believe in you. But first, I want to turn to the beauty of this day. We are here to celebrate you, and I applaud all that you have accomplished, all the work, all the choices, all the sacrifices you've made, and the growth that you have led here to this outstanding achievement. Bravo. I say bravo to you all. To all of the proud families and friends, I say thank you. Thank you for the support you have given these future public health leaders. Thank you. To our distinguished faculty, staff, senior leaders here on the stage with me, it has been an honor to work alongside all of you as the Dean of the School of Public Health for the last 7 years. Ours is a community. We are renowned experts in virtually every aspect of public health. We produce visionary ideas for large-scale impact globally. Our ranks include recipients of Nobel Prize, the MacArthur Genius Award, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Justice for every human has always been our ethos. Our mission is to improve health and advance equity so that all people can thrive. We discover by conducting innovative research to understand diseases and disparities. We educate by training public health professionals who both listen and lead. And we activate by promoting powerful solutions for organizational change, as well as change driven by policymakers and the public. The pursuit of equity is at the center of all that we do. Our core values flow from that singular commitment. We aim to transform the world for a better place while championing the highest possible standards of scientific, academic, and personal integrity. I really love that our statement of values includes these words. We believe that our actions can drive positive change. We believe that our actions can drive positive change. It's not enough just to possess the agency to act. We must also hold faith that our actions matter in a world full of obstacles, challenges, and crises. We must believe. And this brings me back to where I started, about the 3 traits that I mentioned earlier: courage, commitment, and capacity. I'll briefly touch on why each one of these matter before I introduce our fabulous student speaker. Every single one of you embodies a special courage. You look with clear eyes at the world around you. One of my favorite writers, James Baldwin, articulated the value of this type of hard, honest, clear-eyed assessment. He said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced." And you, the class of 2023, have chosen to look long and hard with clear eyes at the difficult things. You see the fractures in our health systems. You see the underinvestment in our social determinants of health. You see the rampant misinformation and the damage that it can cause. You see the systemic inequities that are as heartbreaking as they are stubborn to change. You see a world that global warming is making wetter, hotter, and more volatile, with catastrophic consequences for the health and well-being of hundreds of millions of people. It's not easy to look at these things, and that's why so many people choose to look away. And that's why you are different from the others who choose to look away. Because you look at the problems, and by looking, you capture the clarity of view, which gives you power. And that clarity of vision is remarkable. That clarity gives you courage. And so together, That clarity and courage makes the status quo unacceptable. It leads you to doggedly, idealistically push for systems-wide change. Change in a world that is willfully blind to the challenges faced by so many. Such clarity of vision leads to boldness. And a few years ago, at our 2021 convocation, our student speaker then, Russell Simmons, captured this sentiment beautifully. He told us that he came to Harvard Chan because he recognized the magnitude of the systemic issues plaguing our society. And he wanted to learn the science of public health so that he could be a part of the solution. As Russell put it, there is no pill for injustice. And so he chose to recast the Serenity Prayer. And the Serenity Prayer, which asks us all to accept the things that we cannot change. Well, Russell had different ideas. Russell decided that he was coming to public health to learn the science of public health so that he could set out into the world to change the things he cannot and would not accept. I think that is a powerful and courageous reason for his why for public health. And I think for most of you, if not all of you, your why, your unacceptable, your inability and lack of desire to accept the status quo brought you to public health, brought you to Harvard Chan. So now I want to talk about commitment. As you know, the challenges we face in this field are steep, even at a personal level. We've all seen and heard and read that 1/3 of public health workers in the United States experienced harassment, threats, or stigma during this pandemic. Not surprisingly, those who endured the backlash had a significantly elevated risk for mental health concerns. People were demoralized. Half the US government public health workforce left their jobs. That was between the years 2017 and 2021. If current trends continue, this means 100,000 staff will have left their jobs by 2025. And yet here you are, as older generations are essentially being chased out of their jobs, you are running towards the challenges. Indeed, we saw a notable spike in applications to schools of public health during this pandemic. And so I am confident that you will rally your inner resources necessary to stick with this vision and this vocation, because your commitment is rooted in strategic optimism. This phrase, strategic optimism, I first heard 2 years ago when Michelle Bachelet, the former United Nations High Commissioner on Human Rights, gave a talk at Harvard Chan. Commissioner Bachelet described herself as a strategic optimist. She also said that to build a healthier and more resilient global society, we must mobilize people around a human rights agenda. And then she went on to ask, who are the actors? Who are the actors that are likely to spearhead such a movement? Anyone want to guess? I think the answer is sitting right in front of all of us. I'm looking at hundreds of the actors right now, right here, as we celebrate them. You know, I was reminded of the value of strategic optimism by the excellent speech that you will soon hear from this year's student speaker, your classmate, Haley Hernandez. I'll not give too much away, but let's just say she has discovered a strategic way to navigate this field without growing disheartened by the gap between the ideal and what we'd like to accomplish for the reality of what is possible here and now. Belva Davis, a trailblazing Black journalist, once said, "Don't be afraid of the space between your dreams and reality. If you dream it, you can make it so." I'd just add one thing to that beautiful quote, and that is strategic optimism helps you to stay on that path and to close that gap between the ideal that we dream and the reality that we hope and work for. So I ask you all to stay tuned for Haley's speech to see what strategic optimism looks like in action in real time. Last, but certainly not least, I want to talk about your capacity to create healthier and more resilient societies. As you set out to make your mark, know that you have every reason for confidence. I say this because at Harvard Chan, leadership is our superpower. Our faculty and our alumni are global health leaders. Since 1962, 7 directors of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have come from Harvard Chan. Our graduates have served as ministers or secretary of health for Afghanistan, Argentina, Colombia, India, Papua New Guinea, and Taiwan. And our programs for world leaders have drawn more than 100 ministers of health and finance from over 50 countries. And so, as you all set forth, let's celebrate the special combination of courage, commitment, and capacity, because all of those are tools that you are bringing to the field of public health. I know that the world is challenged and fraught, and some would even say perilous. But you all are a force for good. I know that you will push back injustice. You will push back injustice by instilling the values of our community into public policies and into practices that shape the health of nations. I know that you will bring hope. So let's celebrate your decision to embrace the challenge, to celebrate your decision to run towards the challenge. Whatever comes your way, know that you have chosen a worthy profession, public health, that will shape you in amazing ways for times to come. I want to share one more quote, and this one is a quote from Bill Russell, a former center for the Boston Celtics, a legendary player who once said, "We work to become, not to acquire." I think that's an excellent motto. I think it's an excellent motto, not only for the great game of basketball, but for the beloved field that we have chosen. And finally, let's celebrate that we are collectively moving from a public health moment to a public health movement, a movement that we can all play a leading role going forward and leading this movement forward. And so I say to you, and I say to myself as I step away as the Harvard Chan Deanship, I say to you, let's go out there and make some noise. Congratulations to all of you.